Jonesboro, Arkansas is uncharted waters for the Missouri Tigers. Tonight, the two-time defending SEC champion will be unwelcome guests. The Red Wolves of Arkansas State look to turn their home opener into a historic upset. It's Tigers and Red Wolves next. Game on. Centennial Bank Stadium in Jonesboro, Arkansas will be rocking tonight as the Red Wolves host the Missouri Tigers. And we're thrilled you could join us, everybody. Drew Felios alongside the big man, former Florida State offensive lineman Forrest Conley. It is one of the biggest nights in the history of Arkansas State football, hosting an SEC school in their home opener. Forrest, what do they have to do to get the upset tonight?
Well, it's perfect weather. They need the perfect storm and have perfect outcome. They've got to play very good football, sound technique football, no turnovers. That's the key for them to win this ball game.
Meanwhile, the Tigers of Missouri, two-time defending SEC champion in the East. The Bash brothers certainly did not let down last week, taking on Southeast Missouri.
Well, 25 combined tackles, 16 for Kentrell Brothers. He is a monster off the edge, very slippery. He had a career high. I look for him to have a big ball game this afternoon as well.
Expect them to get a good dose of Freddie Knighton, the senior quarterback for the Red Wolves. Struggled last week at USC. What does he have to do to get his game going?
Well, it is to get back to his dual threat identity. Some dual threat quarterbacks can get first downs, some can get touchdowns. Freddie Knighton can get touchdowns, but he has to get going early in this ball game.
He'll need his running game to step up as well. Michael Gordon can take it the distance in a hurry.
Well, he's the true identity of a slasher. He gets north and south. He falls forward. 24 touchdowns in a career here. I look for him to have a big night as well.
The SEC taking on the Sun Belt, Missouri and Arkansas State. We've got the kickoff from Jonesboro coming up next. How about Missouri? Since joining the SEC, when they left the Big 12, a lot of people thought that they were no longer going to be a factor in college football, and instead they have become a dominant program. Blake Anderson, head coach of Arkansas State, ending the one-and-done era. 3 straight coaches, Hugh Freeze, Gus Malzahn, and Brian Harsin, spending 1 year here in Jonesboro before moving on. This guy, Blake Anderson's going to stay a while.
Well, his whole coaching staff stayed, and that's what's wonderful about what they're building here at Arkansas State.
There's the total yardage after the first quarter for us. Neither team really with the edge, although Missouri has the 3 points.
Well, they have the 3 points, and if you're Arkansas State, you have to feel good about it. Missouri was in the red zone. They had 4 plays inside the red zone, was only able to come out of there with 3 points.
Mention what Coach Anderson was telling us during the week. Says we want to be in the group of top 5 teams in the country. That's our goal. This would be that opportunity to get us that signature win and move us in the direction we want to go. All points tonight coming after turnovers. Freddie Knighton gets those legs loose. The quarterback comparison, Knighton and Mock combining for 50% through the air.
You know, I think Knighton has been more successful because his passes have counted more as far as scoring. Matty Mock does not look comfortable in the backfield.
There's Hansbrough, what he has done by season. Last year, over 1,000 yards. Tonight, only 5 carries for 15 yards. And there's the offensive miscues from the Tigers. 3 interceptions, couple fumbles. Hurries and drops to go with it. There's the total yard story. Tigers with 106 in the first half. They've already matched that and a little bit more here in the third quarter. And as Arkansas State still with hope. There's the yards by half. Not much offense for the Red Wolves in the second half.
What are you looking for out of this huddle from LSU?
Well, I think the fact that we're down to the 2:35 mark, Jalen Patterson has been good, but you don't want to count on him. I think this is a time in a game when it's a one-possession game, you play through your studs.
Jalen Jones with 18, Daniel House with 14. So Mickey and Martin are the story. They're the headline grabbers, but Jones and House, who you've said from the jump.
And one of the things you want, if you can, going into a rivalry game is you want to be healthy at full strength. Neither one of these teams are, and really haven't been all year long.
142nd meeting, and it's been dominated by the Crimson Tide here in Tuscaloosa, 52-12. So it hasn't been very kind inside these confines to the Georgia Bulldogs. Alabama's won the last 5 meetings at home. And oh, by the way, if you pay attention to gymnastics, these are 2 powerhouse programs in that sport. He has not been shy about stepping up alongside Levi Randolph, who's the undisputed leader of this team. Obasohan has now gone 5 straight games scoring 10 or more points. He's averaged 13 points over that 4-game stretch. And
to charge and still get the bucket.
Well, as we talked about pretty much all game long, Darren, how important this game is for the Georgia Bulldogs. Joe Lunardi has them as a 9 seed coming into today. A win here would really help them. A loss here could possibly hurt them big time.
Well, a solid 9 seed. They've got some quality wins against Ole Miss, at Texas A&M. You got to love their strength of schedule at 33. They could lose today and still be in if they're a 9 seed. But the problem is you can't drop too many more like this and not risk getting on the bubble. So it could be a huge win for Georgia to leave here today with a victory.
Marcus Thornton, which means Thornton fouls out with 17 seconds to go. First point of the night for Michael Kessens.
Georgia's got to be aware that Alabama might throw a little 3-court pressure on them just to take some time off the clock, not allow them to come down and run the set that they want.
Well, we talked about how close these 2 teams play each other. 10 of their last 11 games decided by under 10 points. Nothing better than this from 2 years ago.
Trevor Relaford with the heave and the victory.
And that was the final game of the SEC regular season that brought the house down here in Coleman Coliseum. A win today would do very much the same. They're tied at 61. Alabama with 1 timeout remaining, Georgia with 2. And Alabama has been in this spot before, and they don't have a lot to show for it, Darren.
Well, they have not been able to make the last play when they needed to in 3 of those games. They had the ball on the last possession. Only 1 of them went their way against Arkansas. No block out by Shannon Hell. Bobby Portis got a tip in to beat him at the buzzer.
And in Kentucky's case, perfect. And it's a chance for you to see again today a really good team.
I've had some really good teams. This is a really good team.
And Anthony Towns came over the top.
Are you serious, Mr. Nessler? How big was that jump?
Being a part of an undefeated team, or a team like this, is incredible.
Boy, he was flying through the air.
Just being our conference champs is a big deal.
Nice pass.
As a freshman to come in and win the SEC tournament, that would be a dream come true.
Walls hits a 3.
They left a bad taste in our mouths, so we're not shying away from the moment. We're not shying away from playing.
Put the wraps on this one.
Can't play on our heels. We have to go in there just like with a level head and just play our style of basketball.
The Hogs and the Cats for the SEC tournament title.
Will the skies see tomorrow, or will the Mercury rise to glory?
It's official. There's a dynasty in the WNBA. The Houston Comets.
The LA Sparks have won their 2nd straight WNBA championship.
The biggest turnaround in professional sports history. From worst to first.
And the Minnesota Lynx have taken back their title.
Brittany Griner's laying on the floor, writhing in pain. How did you guys regroup after that?
She needs to get up.